Sometimes I make things that are silly, but a lot of fun and occasionally productive. In this case, I made a fish farm, thanks to Zoe. Welcome to the Mischief. I'm Valen, and this is Rustic Waters II. Yes, I may be abusing some different options that my dog comes with, but Zoe here is a fisher dog, or at least she's got 5 levels of it. That's as much as I could possibly get on her. But yeah, because of that, anytime she gets wet, when she gets out of water and finishes doing the little doggy shake that she does, she has a chance, albeit a pretty good one, of making some kind of raw, or in this case, cooked cod, depending upon, different skills and stuff that we have in here. So I figured, why not? I just set her here and let her go, and she could make a whole bunch of food for us if we need it. Not that we really do need it, because honestly, we've got a lot of pork chops and stuff. But I just happened to, I was like, let's make some vector plates. Let's mess around with this, because I remembered being able to set her on the edge of water before and make that work. But yeah, anyway, don't worry, she won't be on that for too much longer, because I've got plans today. That's right, we're all going on a trip, and that trip is going to involve going to the Nether. And yes, I've made a chicken farm, and I have regrets because I forgot that they all poop out eggs. So it's doubling the entity count in there quite readily, if not even more so. But either way, I've got this empty spot in the middle where there's no seeds, so I don't need to worry about breaking them. But yeah, that's one swipe and half the population is gone, so that's kind of nice. But I'm doing this specifically with the chickens so I can get feathers. The other items are also just nice to haves. Oh my gosh, that's a lot of drops. Okay, yeah, then look at all the eggs. Oh, yeah, I think I'm going to leave them like this and occasionally harvest them like I did there. I've got several stacks of feathers, so I might not even need to harvest them again for some time. As I have several of these and I have over 30 levels, I figured, well, let's increase my damage and also my health a bit more. As you can see, I'm well on my way to 30 hearts. I'm almost there. I'm a few away, but I now do a decent amount of damage as well. Just in general, I found out that if I wanted to test to see how much damage I have, I just hit something at 5. There we go. So I do my normal half-heart of damage plus 2 whole hearts more. And that applies to any kind of like melee weapons and such like that. I don't know if it applies to bows, but yeah, we'll work it out. So the plan today is to go to the Nether. So I'm going to be packing up my pups. Let's get 3 of these so that I can have them ready and set to go. And this is still just silly stuff here. Gosh. Okay, I just learned a weird lesson. Whatever you do, do not use a monster ball on an entity that is being flung around on a vector plate, because it turns invisible and the monster or mob or entity or whatever is still there. So it's really weird. I basically ended up using the whistle to try and get Zoe to come closer. Anyway, let's get to so I could click her and put her into one of these monster capsules, let her out, and then all was good. There we go. I've got lots of torches, lots of arrows. I've got my bow, my sword, my pajamas, my protection enchantments, and my magic mirror to give me buffs. It's all seeming like it's pretty good. But I guess we're gonna get going. I even have my companions to take with me. But here's where I worry, is that my difficulty level has been increasing, and mobs, they're a lot more difficult to kill now than they used to be. Even with my super weapons. Holy cow, what the heck was that? Did you just do you're doing a cloud harm? No. Okay, well, I guess I still will be using some of this on occasion, especially underwater. There we go. Oh, magic book. Wait, do the drops get better? Loyalty 1. Well, that's interesting. I'm just doing a swim over to this little station here. I have no idea where I'm going to end up when I come out. Here we are, back in the good old Nether area here. Lots of fun here. Ugh, lots of bad memories. All right, let's click on here and find out what happens. All right, I'm in the Nether, and looking at the map, it looks horrific. I don't see any of the castles nearby. Maybe that's what this is? I mean, I see piglins. No, that's probably not it. But there's plenty to explore, and I'm going to need to find out what all these are. Fungus throwers? Oh, gosh. Soul vultures? This sounds terrible. Besides the gold, this is another resource that I am here to collect. Lots of nether quartz. Yes, please, and thank you. Oh, solium ore. I may need that as well for some mystical agriculture. Also, what I'm looking for, and I'll need soulstone too, is going to be glowstone, so that I can level up my pups. I'm going to need a lot of glowstone. There are ways of actually making the stuff, but it is a little bit down the quest line, and I figured, you know what, let's just go to the Nether and give things a look-see. There we go, a little bit of light on the subject, and I figure we can move on. So I have a concern about the mobs I'm going to run into. Also, how I'm supposed to get around. I did not make any spells that are going to help me traverse things. I do have my jump into the air and fly like an elytra spell, but I worry about ceilings now, and walls. Ooh. Oh! Well, I guess there's also the possibility of falling. What the heck is that thing? A quartz geode? Gosh. Oh my gosh, poison clouds? This is not good. And these things are just constantly going to be spamming me. Can I hit them with my bow? Right, they seem to have just kind of like flown off, which is really weird. As soon as I hit them, they just kind of flew away. This one here seems to be staying at distance as well, so maybe I can get away without having combat on everything. Now, I do want to make sure that I've got a lot of resources and stuff while I'm here, because there's only... What does that sound? Well, there's only 6 bites in that little cake that was in there, so I have a limited number of times I'm able to get into the Nether before I have to go searching for another one of those Nether way stations, which I really don't want to have to make myself a portal and a waypoint and all that stuff. And you're probably thinking, hey Valen, why don't you use a warp scroll to get back? Because the warp scrolls, they only work in 1 dimension, so that's definitely not a thing. Even little tiny magma cubes like this have speed on them, extra armor. Oh my gosh, this difficulty level increase is going to be the death of me for sure. Here's the advantage of using the book, is that I can break this stuff at range. So this is rather nice, actually. The heck are those? They don't seem to be attacking me. Warped toads? They look quite amazing. I will leave them alone. Toads are some of my favorite creatures. And there we go. I think that's probably going to do it for me. I have a pretty full backpack, a lot of gold nuggets, a lot of glowstone dust, a lot of nether quartz, and a bunch of other stuff as well as a few enchanted books. Nothing really too fantastic, but it's been a really productive run. I ran into a few unique monsters. Like, I don't know what these guys are doing wearing purple. They seem very strange to me. And they run away, which is also very interesting. But yeah, there we go. They're all dead. But it's been a rather vanilla-like experience in here. There's been a few mobs, nothing really else that I've found. I started over here, and I have since traveled all the way over. I have not... Oh, wait, there's another fortress. Oh, I was about to teleport back, but now that I know that that's there, maybe I'll work my way over and see what we can find out, because I have no idea what the loot is going to be like down here. Well, okay, maybe we stick around for a little bit longer. Okay, so I've searched high and low in this entire structure and didn't really find much else. Now there is this one over here, but the loot that I found wasn't the best. So what I'm going to do is place down an overworld cake, and I'm going to take a nibble and see where I end up when I come back through the other side. I don't know if I'm going to be underwater or not, so I might put that in my hand here just in case. Here we go. Oh, very close. I'm actually back where I came in. That's really impressive, and I'm very pleased about that. And that's a little bit of vengeance on my part. And now to head home and take account of all the stuff that I was able to get. Alright, take a close look. This is quite a bit of stuff. As you notice, this already had a whole bunch in it from before, and I have even more things, though. What I got some diamond horse armor, which was kind of nice, and an enchanted book. That was about all I was able to find in there. I only found one actual loot chest in that structure. I was pretty unhappy about that, but I do now have a lot of the other materials I've been looking for, and this should help me to level up my pups, as well as fortify my gold reserves. And I now have nether quartz, which allows me to access several different things I couldn't before. There we have it, the drawer controller, something that I've been wanting for some time. But that is going to lead into the next quest, which is a storage terminal. This should help me get a little bit more organized rather than running around to all the rooms. At least I hope so. The storage terminal can be placed on any chest to access all of the contents in an easy-to-use interface. Simple storage allows you to have easier access to your chests, drawers, and other inventories. While you will not be able to craft, auto-craft, or automate import-export using this simple network, it is inexpensive and convenient. And I believe, first let me actually put this on my list of things to make, and it's actually really cheap to make as well, that if I hook it up to this drawer controller, it should have access to insert and export from all of its connected inventories, which will actually keep things sorted into their desired locations. And there we have it, one storage terminal. Yes, in fact, and we do. And I think that completes the quest. Let's see what else there is before I go crazy with this. Gives me some item pipes, which sounds like a way of connecting inventories and stuff that can be used. But it also has inventory connector, which I think is like trim. Yeah, for storage drawers. The inventory connector will allow your storage terminal to interact with any blocks that are touching each other or connected via inventory trim, which acts like a cable. So this implies that the chests just need to be next to each other for this to automatically detect things. So this is another point of something to remember there. All right, a little bit of treated wood. Oh, and some of those item pipes will make one of those to complete it. But before I do, let's actually put this underneath here so that I can still access here and put things away that I want to. But if I click on here, oh, look at that. All the things on this wall within easy reach. So if I take out some of, let's say there's feathers here. There's 110 feathers. Let's take out a half a stack. Feathers are still there. And I have extra blank locations. But if I put them back in, let's just drop them in on top of the snowballs. The feathers go back into that spot, but I don't know. It does not look like it actually put them in a different location. So that's really good to see, especially since I've got some blank spots in here. And yes, it's rather janky. I've just been using what I've been getting from some of the rewards or drops or treasure chests. But at least I now have access to this, and I could potentially put this on any number of these ones, or I could connect them all together and have a central location and just kind of run back and forth. And there we have it, one of those pieces I need to complete this quest line, the inventory connector. That gets me 6 more inventory trim, which when I look at the inventory trim, it says can be painted, connects inventories with the inventory connector. That's really weird. I guess this allows inventories to group together, and then after you've got one of them in there, you can use inventory trim or something. Oh, here we go. Trims cannot connect the gaps. Ah, okay. And then going over to some other quests, one of which I am really interested in completing is the Super Treats here. Super Treat is the second tier of Training Bone. It allows you to continue training your puppers an additional 20 levels, and you get Doggo sunglasses, which I already made some, but there's no reason why I can't have some more. So looking at this, it takes 4 Lumium, 4 seeds of some sort, and a training treat, which I already can make training treats rather easily. It's the Lumium blend that's really prohibitive. So this Lumium blend looks like it's made from tin, silver, and glowstone, which, yeah, also a superheated version of one of these blazes. Which takes me back a level, because to do that we need to get blaze cake bases, which it says here some high-end recipes require superheated mixing. You can superheat your blaze burner by feeding it blaze cake. And we get a content observer for a reward. And in order to make a blaze cake base, which I'm now putting on my list, we need cinderflower, which is made from netherrack, flour, and sugar. There are multiple different kinds of flour that I can choose from as well, so I think that'll be alright, and I just mix it in here to get that. Speaking of that flour recipe, what's a really good way of doing it? Well, apples, of course. Apples in a grinder makes flour, because that is 100% logic thinking right there. Okay, so let's start off with the basics. Some sugar, some flour made from apples, kind of weird, and some netherrack. Sugar, flour, and netherrack, or at least a whole bunch of it. And here we have the cinderflower coming out the other end, which is lovely. I think I've got a pulverizer, a press, and a blast chiller. Oh, I can just straight up cook this thing in a regular furnace. Okay, well that's not a problem at all. And there we have it. We got our first blaze cake base. But the quest calls for 2, so there we go. I now get my content observer, which for now I'm going to put it in with the rest of my extras for my create stuff. And with this being completed with the cinderflower that was in here, in fact I'm just going to put those in there. I have some leftover ingredients because I don't have enough of the netherrack. Let me get the rest of that and make up a bunch more. Finishing that quest, we now can go on to making 2 blaze cakes, which looks like it requires some lava. 1 bucket each with a blaze cake base. Okay, no heating required. Shouldn't be a problem. Toss one of those in, and with that in the bottom, if I just bucket that in, that should make me one of them. And indeed it did. The only problem is I need more lava, so let me go see about getting some. Well, the best way that I found is making it instead of going and getting it, and I'm going to do so with a magma crucible, which is just a bit of nether bricks, which I should have access to now, invar gears, redstone flux coil, machine frame, and some kind of glass. There we go, 1 magma crucible. It actually wasn't too bad at all. Oh, and it completed a quest. Thermal energistics quest. Oh, and that starts the line. And we get a flux linkage amplifier, which increases the process speed but reduces the RF efficiency. I'll take this. And it says, the flux linkage amplifier is one of the many machine upgrades that can be applied in a machine's UI. See JEI for other options. The magma crucible melts items into their fluid counterparts. This includes things such as redstone into destabilized redstone and ender pearls into resonant ender. You may need multiples of some of the machines discussed in this quest chain, depending on the type of automation you plan. In this case, I'm using it for lava, and I just need a lava bucket and I get a diamond pick. Oh, that's kind of weird. Anyway, let me put it down over here, plunk it in. It should be getting itself heated up, yep, right quick and in a hurry. Let me go get some magma blocks. I am just going to start with 1 for now. I don't have a lot of them, but I can always get more of them relatively simply. But I just want to see how much it's going to make. If that's all it needs... Oh, that is a bit fast, and now I see why the linkage amplifier needs to be in place to speed that sucker up. And there we go, we have 1 bucket of lava, which I can just bucket straight out of that thing. Put it in here. Toss in another blaze cake thingy. I actually need to be a little bit closer. There we go. I think the other one went down on the bottom. It did. And then we have 2 blaze cakes. Complete. And I get a bunch of XP in here, which I'm going to hold on to that. I am not going to claim that just yet. And that brings us back to this. I just need some tin dust, some silver grit, and I should be able to feed our little friend here some of this and make some Lumium blend. And I just toss in some silver and some tin in my pulverizer to get the different dusts so that I can mix this up. Then I come over here to the mixer. As before, I'm going to toss in a bunch of silver, tin, glowstone, make sure it's all in there, and then I'm going to superheat this. Only with 1 of these, as it's probably going to last a bit. There we go, we now have our superheated friend. It is making the stuff, and that should last us quite a bit as well. And there we have our Lumium blend. Oh, and in quantity as well. Once this thing's done mixing up what I have in there, then I will switch it out to a different process to make the super treats. Now the super treats don't require any heating, they do just require some seeds, Lumium blend, and training treats. All three in, and we mix this stuff up, and I think with the first one, that should complete the quest. Super treat, get. Now this only did get me a few of these. I will have to probably do a bit more to get all of the ingredients out of here, or, you know, to process this and everything, but at least I did get a little bit of each. And it is enough, I know you're a little excited there, Zoe, that's okay, to give one to each of you. There we go, one to Connor, one to Lilo, and one to Zoe. Yes. And there you have it, another episode of Rustic Waters 2. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. It's a little bit interesting going into the Nether. I look forward to doing a whole bunch more progression with the quests next time. If you did enjoy this, please be sure to give a like. It helps out the channel quite a bit. Comment, subscribe, click the notification bell if you want to see more videos and when they come out, which we'll be doing some bit by bits in very near future here. And don't be afraid to stop by on Twitch. If you guys want to see any other videos that we may have, please feel free to click one of the ones on the screen now. Till next time, folks, I'll see ya.